Most people slow down after 70, but not everyone. There's a small group of men and women who keep moving, keep learning, and keep leading long after others begin to fade. They're not lucky. They're not superhuman. They've simply kept certain skills alive, and because of that, they've bought themselves more time. If you're between 70 and 80 and can still do the following 8 things, consider yourself rare, even extraordinary. Each one is a quiet marker, like footprints left on the sand, of physical strength, mental clarity, and a kind of youthful energy that biology alone can't explain. And if you're not quite there yet, don't let discouragement take root. These abilities aren't fixed. They can be trained, nurtured, and reawakened. Stick with us until the end, because the final indicator is more than just a sign. It's a powerful predictor of whether you'll continue to thrive or slowly fade away. Let's begin with something so simple it's often overlooked. You can get up from the floor without help. Forget fancy diagnostics. Forget blood panels, wearable trackers, or expensive tests. There is one physical test that quietly predicts your independence, your balance, your coordination, and even your odds of living longer. It's unassuming, it's accessible, and it tells a much deeper story than any monitor ever could. All you need is a clear patch of floor. No equipment, no tools, just space and intention. Now, try this. Sit down on the ground. Take your time. Then, from that seated position, try to rise, without using your hands, your knees, a chair, or another person for support. Can you do it? It may sound basic, but this single ability reveals more about your functional health than almost any modern medical test available today. Why is that? Because it's not about isolated muscle strength. It's about integration, how your body parts communicate, cooperate, and move as a whole. Your core stability, your hip flexibility, your sense of balance, your proprioception, your body's natural sense of space, and your nervous system's clarity. All of these are working together, or not. And if even one part of that chain is weak, this simple movement exposes it immediately. It's fascinating when you think about it. Studies have confirmed that older adults who can get up and down from the floor without using support have a significantly lower risk of mortality. In fact, a study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology discovered that people over 50 who could perform this movement had up to 5 times greater life expectancy than those who couldn't. 5 times, let that sink in. Why such a dramatic difference? Because the ability to rise from the floor, to control your own body against gravity, isn't just about muscles. It's a quiet symbol of resilience. When your brain receives the message, this body is still capable, still coordinated, still safe, it responds in kind. Hormones regulate better, confidence returns. Your nervous system remains calm, like still water instead of a choppy sea. Your gait improves. Your risk of falling drops dramatically. And here's the truth we often ignore. It's not the fall itself that changes everything in old age. It's the inability to get back up. Imagine slipping in the shower, stumbling in the garden, or tripping in your kitchen. What makes the difference between a story you laugh about later and a tragic event is whether your body remembers how to move itself upright again. And that memory? It doesn't come from daily walks alone. It's built through floor work, from sitting, shifting, rotating, and pushing your own body away from the ground. Movements that many adults stop practicing after the age of 60 and then slowly lose entirely. But here's the good news. This ability is rebuildable. You're not too old, you're not too stiff, you're not broken. With the right movements, applied consistently and gently, you can train your body to remember, to trust itself again, to rise again, both literally and metaphorically. So, where do you begin? Start small. Begin by sitting on the floor just once a day. Use a pillow or a soft yoga mat to cushion the transition. Cross your legs. Shift your weight gently. Pay attention to how your body responds. Use your hands for support at first, if needed, but slowly aim to reduce reliance over time. Activate your core. Open your hips, engage your glutes. Think of your body as a system, not as separate parts, and think of the floor as its teacher. The more time you spend with it, the more your brain rewires itself to recognize strength, balance, and coordination. The more familiar the ground becomes, the less afraid you'll be of it. And that is the beginning of a longer, steadier journey. Because your body is a system, and the floor is its classroom. The more you interact with it, the more your brain maps strength, balance, and coordination back into your nervous system. And this isn't just about physical power. It's about freedom, the kind that matters most as we age. Because what does independence really look like at 75? It's not flashy. It's not about racing down highways or lifting heavy weights at the gym. No, it's about the small, everyday victories. Bathing safely without the fear of slipping, bending down to pick something up without losing balance, tending to a garden without pain or hesitation. It's sitting comfortably with your grandchildren, getting up from the couch without groaning, walking confidently through your home, knowing your legs will hold steady and your body won't fail you. That's the kind of freedom that brings peace. And when you can rise from the floor unassisted, without relying on your hands, a helper, or the furniture, it tells the world, and more importantly, it tells you, that you are still in command. You are still the owner of your own body. That kind of control, that quiet sense of certainty, ripples through every part of your life. It shifts how you move. It transforms how you think. Suddenly, you go for more walks. You say yes to more outings. You engage more openly with others. You no longer retreat into isolation. Because fear, especially the fear of falling, is like a shadow. Once it takes hold, it creates a loop. Fear causes less movement. Less movement causes more weakness, and more weakness increases the very risk you are trying to avoid. But when you stay in motion, when you keep moving, you break that spiral. And motion, however gentle, is what keeps you alive. It nourishes the body, calms the mind, and preserves the soul. So be honest with yourself. Test gently. If you struggle to rise without using your hands, that's okay. Really, it's okay. Don't panic. But don't ignore it either. That moment of effort, that brief instability, is your body speaking to you. It's not a sign of defeat. It's a signal, a request for help. Your system is asking for strength, for focus, for care. Listen to it and respond with kindness. Don't wait until the schedule clears. Don't wait until the pain gets worse or the weather is better. Start today. Begin with just 2 minutes of floor time. Sit gently. Stretch. Feel your breath. Add a few easy squats to your daily rhythm. Open up your hips. Strengthen your core just 3 times a week. You don't need intensity, you need consistency. These aren't extreme habits, but they are the foundation of independence. Because in the end, this one skill, getting up from the ground, is more than just a physical movement. It's a metaphor, a reflection of how you face aging, a mirror of how you respond to the inevitable challenges that life continues to bring, and most importantly, it's a quiet declaration of how you choose to live the rest of your years, with strength, with calm dignity, and with the unshakable confidence of someone who doesn't just endure old age, but rises with it. Take something as seemingly simple as carrying your own groceries. 2 bags, 1 in each hand, a short walk from the car to the kitchen. You've done it countless times, perhaps without even thinking. But if you're still able to do it now, it's more than a chore. It's a message from your body to you. You're aging well. Because this ability isn't just about lifting, it's about maintaining independence, preserving strength, and sustaining the fine-tuned resilience of your entire nervous system. And even deeper than that, it's about what your hands say about your heart, your brain, and your future. Grip strength may sound like a gym statistic, a detail buried in fitness charts, but science tells a different story. According to research from respected journals like The Lancet and the Journal of Gerontology, grip strength is one of the most reliable predictors of early death. More accurate, in many cases, then blood pressure, cholesterol, or even body weight. Surprising. Why does something so simple carry such weight? Because grip strength reflects your overall vitality. When your hands are strong, it means your nervous system is alert, your muscles are responsive, your bones are holding firm, and your circulation is fully alive. But when that grip begins to weaken, not from injury, but from disuse, a silent shift begins. The system starts to dim. Muscles atrophy, blood flow slows, balance wavers, and most critically, confidence begins to retreat. You avoid jars that once opened easily. You pause before picking up heavier objects. You hesitate to lift grocery bags from the trunk. And piece by piece, day by day, your world grows smaller, not because of your age, but because of what you stop doing. But here's the part no one tells you. It doesn't have to be this way. You can reclaim that strength, even if you're in your 70s or 80s, even if your fingers ache, even if your lifestyle has been mostly sedentary for years. Your muscles haven't forgotten. They're not gone. They're simply waiting for the signal to come back to life. And that signal? It begins the moment you say, I'm ready. Ready to move again, ready to push gently, to challenge yourself safely, steadily, and with intention. Ready to believe that the strength you thought was lost is actually still there. Your muscles don't forget how to respond. They're just waiting for the signal. And that signal starts the moment you decide to challenge them again, safely, consistently, and with intention. Carrying your own groceries is one of the simplest, clearest tests of this ability. Think about it. Can you lift a bag without feeling pain in your joints? Can you carry it from one room to another without needing to pause or adjust your grip? Can you shift a carton, a box, or even a pan across the kitchen without sensing that familiar strain creeping into your wrists or lower back? If your answer is yes, then celebrate it. That's not just a functional win, it's a deeper, quieter signal of cellular health still working on your behalf. It means your joints are still well coordinated, your bones are still strong enough to bear weight, and your grip has not faded or surrendered with time. That small act, carrying a bag, reveals a great deal. But if the answer is no, if you find that the same bags feel heavier than they once did, if your fingers start to weaken or your wrist trembles when lifting, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it as just getting older, because that trembling is not just a symptom of aging. It's a message, a quiet request from your body. And that message is clear. Your body is asking for support, not through medication and not through invasive procedures. What it really needs is movement. It needs resistance. It needs nutrients that build, repair, and energize. So what happens when you begin to train your grip? Something remarkable. Your brain sharpens. It might sound surprising, but cognitive research has consistently shown a strong connection between grip strength and brain function. Seniors who maintain strong hands are more likely to show better memory recall, faster reflexes, and fewer early signs of cognitive decline. Why? Because grip strength isn't just about what your hands can do. It reflects how well your brain communicates with your muscles, how fast your nerves transmit information, how stable your spine and posture remain even under subtle pressure. When grip fades, the brain often follows. But the reverse is also true. When grip returns, so does clarity. Your thoughts sharpen, your reaction time improves, your confidence comes back. It's a beautiful feedback loop between strength and cognition. Grip strength also has a deep connection to your heart. Every time you hold weight, whether it's a grocery bag, a laundry basket, or even your grandchild, your cardiovascular system is activated. Your blood circulates more efficiently. Your blood vessels expand. Your heart rate stabilizes. And unlike intense cardio workouts, grip training is kind to your joints and easy to start. A simple dead hang, a light kettlebell hold, squeezing a rubber ball, or even a rolled-up towel. These modest movements build endurance at the cellular level. They support your circulatory system, your muscular framework, and your mental focus all at once. So, what can you do? Begin simply and with purpose. Carry one bag in each hand and walk slowly through your home. Don't rush. Feel your fingers hold, your forearms engage. Squeeze a towel firmly for 10 seconds. Use a gripper tool while you're watching a favorite show. If you can, hang gently from a bar, even if your feet remain on the ground. These may seem like basic exercises, but they do more than just strengthen. They rebuild connection. They stimulate the nerves in your hands. They reawaken your forearm muscles. And most of all, they send a message to your brain. These hands still work. This body still moves. And it's important to remember, your hands are not just tools. They are messengers. They quietly reflect how much you still participate in the rhythm of life. Do you cook, clean, write, lift, help, protect? Every time you use your hands, you reinforce your presence in the world. When your hands are strong, your posture lifts, your gait becomes more secure, your breathing deepens, you feel more grounded, more present, and somehow more alive. And this is why hand strength isn't about vanity or toughness. It's about something far greater. Freedom. The freedom to carry your own bag, to lift your own suitcase, to pick up your grandchild with joy, to open a jar without asking for help, to move through life without hesitation. That is dignity. That is health. That is power. So the next time you carry a bag into your kitchen, take a moment, pause. Feel the strength in your fingers, the steadiness in your wrist, the quiet certainty in your step. That isn't just a task. That's your health speaking to you. You can remember names, tasks, and details without confusion. There's something sacred about memory. Not just because it helps us recall birthdays, appointments, or where we placed our glasses, but because memory is where our identity lives. It holds our history, our relationships, our stories, the essence of who we are. When we can still reach into that space clearly and consistently, even in our 70s or 80s, we haven't just aged well. We've preserved something deeply human. Most people think memory loss is simply a part of getting older. They expect to forget names, to repeat themselves at dinner, to lose track of time, or wander into a room and forget why. But here's the truth. That's not inevitable. Some mental slowdown is natural, yes, but confusion, disorientation, that's a different story. That's a warning sign, not a normal part of healthy aging. So if you're still able to remember the names of those you love, if you can hold a meaningful conversation without drifting, if you know where you're going and why, then your brain is still very much alive. That kind of mental clarity isn't about luck. It's not just the absence of disease. It's the result of a lifetime of choices. It's a lifetime of reading, solving, creating, moving, connecting, of staying curious and mentally engaged even when no one was watching. Because cognitive health doesn't live only in the brain. It's woven into your nervous system. It begins in your gut. It grows through the habits you repeat every day, or the ones you forget to. The brain is not a storage box that simply deteriorates. It isn't a dusty attic that fades with time. It's an active, living organ, constantly reshaping itself, constantly responding to how we use or neglect it. And just like any living organ, it thrives in the right conditions and weakens in the wrong ones. One of the most important conditions? You. If you stop using your mind, it doesn't just pause, it begins to retreat. Gently at first, then more noticeably. If you stop learning, you stop retaining. If you stop asking questions, you stop caring about the answers. Curiosity fades, mental agility softens. The beautiful branching pathways of thought, the very networks that define who you are, start to go quiet. If you stop reading, solving, or exploring, your neurons stop making new bridges. The synapses between thoughts shrink, and slowly a kind of fog begins to roll in. Not all at once, but like morning mist covering a once bright field. But you, if you still remember people's names, if you still recall birthdays, moments, conversations, you are still forming new connections. That means your brain is still active. You are still present. You're still connected to the world around you. That awareness, that sharpness, is not something to take for granted. It is a skill, a discipline, a daily practice. And more than that, it is a gift, one that must be nurtured and protected. Because the moment memory begins to slip, it's not just your thoughts that change. It's your sense of connection. When you forget names, you may start to pull away from people. When you forget conversations, you might speak less. When you begin to doubt your own words, you stop sharing your stories. You stop leading. You stop laughing quite as much. You begin to withdraw, not out of choice, but out of quiet uncertainty. And that is the true danger of cognitive decline. It's not just the forgetfulness. It's the shrinking of your world, the shrinking of your voice, the dimming of your identity. And once that slide begins, it's not just the brain that suffers. The heart follows. The motivation fades, the body slows down. Because when clarity disappears, something inside starts to feel irrelevant. And no pill, no supplement, no shortcut can restore that feeling of purpose. So, how do you stay sharp? You stay engaged. Keep learning, even if the steps feel small. Practice remembering names, not because you must, but because you can. Challenge yourself with new topics, new skills. Write things down by hand. Try cooking a new recipe from memory. Tell your grandchildren an old story, but add even more detail this time. Use your memory like a muscle, because that's exactly what it is. Feed your brain what it needs. Stay hydrated. Eat foods rich in omega-3s. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin D. Sleep deeply and often. And move your body, not just for your heart, but for your mind. Because every time you walk, stretch, or lift, blood flows to your brain. That's not just exercise. That's neurological nourishment. Walking, resistance training, even gentle stretching, anything that circulates oxygen through your body also sharpens your focus. These small acts support not just your joints and muscles, but your ability to stay mentally bright and emotionally steady. That's not just fitness. That's cognitive maintenance. And perhaps most importantly, stay connected. Because conversation is one of the most powerful forms of mental exercise. Every time you tell a story, your brain retrieves information. Every time you listen and respond, your mind is organizing, reacting, remembering. Connection keeps the brain awake. Isolation, by contrast, dims it slowly and quietly. So if your mind is still sharp, don't take it lightly. Honor it, because mental clarity isn't just about intelligence. It's about balance. It's a sign that your body, your mind, and your spirit are still in conversation, still participating, still showing up. And if you feel your mind slipping, don't panic. But please, don't ignore it. Fight for it. Re-engage. Let your curiosity lead you again. Feed your mind the way you would feed a healing muscle. Gently, consistently, and with care. Because no matter your age, your brain is still listening, still adapting, still growing, still capable of surprising you. You are not forgetful because you are old. You are forgetful because something inside you stopped being used, and that can change, starting today. You can walk at a moderate pace for 15 minutes without pain. That might not sound like much, just 15 minutes, no incline, no weights, no medal waiting at the finish line, just a steady pace, one foot in front of the other, a quiet rhythm, a gentle breath. But if you can do that, if you can walk briskly without needing to stop, without wincing, without your knees stiffening or your breath catching, then that is not a small win. That is a quiet victory. A sign that your body is still in harmony, that your systems are still working together like a well-tuned instrument. And at this stage of life, that harmony is more precious than gold, because walking isn't just exercise, it's a full-body system check. Every step is a test of coordination, endurance, joint integrity, circulation, lung capacity, and mental presence. It's far more than just a way to move from one room to another. Walking is a moment-by-moment check-in with every part of your being. If something is off, whether it's your hips feeling stiff, an ankle that no longer holds steady, a mind that feels clouded, or a heart that has lost its natural rhythm, walking will reveal it. A gait that once felt strong may start to feel uncertain, hesitant, a little less sure. But if you're still able to move smoothly, without interruption or hesitation, you're not just physically mobile, you're neurologically intact. That distinction matters more than most people realize. Because endurance, true endurance, isn't measured only by how far you can walk. It's measured by how many systems inside your body are still willing and able to cooperate. Your brain must chart the route ahead. Your heart needs to maintain a steady rhythm. Your lungs must draw in fresh air and exchange it efficiently. Blood vessels expand and contract with each movement, sending nutrients to the right places. Muscles engage in a perfect sequence. Joints must absorb every step's impact, and your sense of balance keeps the whole system upright and centered. This isn't just movement. It's a symphony, a harmony of biology, chemistry, and motion working together in real time. And when you can walk briskly for 15 minutes, without stopping, without pain, you are still conducting that symphony with precision, grace, and power. But when walking begins to hurt, when your hips burn, your knees swell, your lower back stiffens, or your breath becomes shallow, that isn't just getting old. That's your body waving a flag, asking for attention. It might be inflammation, it could be weak glutes, poor posture, or shallow breathing. Sometimes it's even mental fatigue. But the worst thing you can do is accept that discomfort as your new normal, because here's the truth. The moment walking turns into a chore, the walls of life begin to close in. Why? Because walking is more than movement, it is freedom. It's how you get to the bathroom safely in the middle of the night. It's how you brew your morning coffee, how you step outside to feel the breeze or greet a neighbor. When walking is limited, so is your world. Your radius begins to shrink, silently, step by step. You stop going out as often, you decline invitations, you avoid stairs, you rely on others a little more. Piece by piece, your independence slips away. But here's the power hidden within walking. It's both a diagnostic tool and a form of treatment. When it hurts, it shows you where your attention is needed. And when you avoid it, your body declines more rapidly. But when you embrace it, with patience, structure, and consistency, it becomes one of the most powerful forms of medicine. And unlike pills, walking has no side effects. A daily walk, even a gentle one, restores balance. It improves circulation. It strengthens memory. It enhances mobility. It even supports digestion. Yes, your gut actually functions better when you walk. And along with your body, your mood improves, your sleep deepens, your confidence rises. The body was built to walk, not just to get from place to place, but to preserve itself. Your hips are meant to swing and stride. Your knees are engineered to bend, push, and absorb. Your spine is aligned to support upright motion. When you give your body that natural, daily movement, you send a powerful signal to every system. We're still here. We're still working. We're still capable. And it's not about speed. It's about pace. A calm, steady rhythm where you can still speak, but feel your body warming, your breathing deepening, your mind slowly narrowing into focus. That's the zone where healing begins. That's the space where strength is rebuilt and longevity takes root. Not in crowded gyms, not through machines, not from aggressive training routines, but simply by putting on your shoes and saying, "Let's go." If you can't walk 15 minutes today, don't worry. Start with 5, then stretch it to 7, add a minute each week. Let it grow gradually. And while you walk, notice not just your legs, but your mind. You might discover that the fog begins to lift, the anxiety softens, the internal chatter quiets down. Because movement doesn't just stretch the body, it stretches the soul. It gives you back a piece of your agency, your ownership. That time may have slowly taken away. And if you're already walking 15 minutes a day, then protect that gift. Don't let comfort steal it from you. Keep going. Vary your route. Try a gentle hill. Walk with a friend. Walk alone in silence. Walk with purpose. Walk with presence. Every step you take is a quiet but firm declaration. I'm still in control. I'm still participating. I'm still living, not just surviving. Because here's the truth. Once you lose your ability to walk comfortably, everything else becomes harder. Getting out of bed, getting dressed, traveling, socializing, every movement becomes a negotiation, and life itself becomes smaller, more distant. But if you can walk even just 15 minutes, even at your own pace, your future remains wide open. So treat your walk as something sacred, not as a daily chore, but as a testament to your endurance, your capacity, your commitment to stay alive and engaged in every way that matters. 15 minutes may not seem like much, but in that time you affirm life, and then, just as gently as movement brings healing by day, you can sleep through the night without medication. There's a quiet kind of power that doesn't boast. It doesn't wear a medal. It doesn't make headlines, but it changes everything. Quietly, steadily, night after night. It's the power to fall asleep naturally and stay asleep. No pills, no tossing and turning, no groggy, drugged morning after. Just deep, restorative, unassisted rest. The kind that rebuilds your body from the inside out. And if you're still able to do that after 70, that's not luck. That's a superpower. A quiet, powerful gift that many take for granted until it slips away. Most people don't realize just how critical sleep becomes in the later decades of life. It is no longer just a time for rest. It becomes the body's final line of defense, its most sacred opportunity for recovery. As we age, everything changes, often in ways that are hard to notice at first. Hormones that once kept us vibrant begin to fade. The nervous system grows more sensitive to disruption. Discomfort and pain tend to linger longer than they used to. Inflammation begins to settle in, not loudly, but quietly, like a slow fog rolling through the body. And there's one time of day, just one, when the body is designed to repair itself: at night. But that repair is only possible if you give your body the chance to slip into deep sleep. That rich, slow-wave state when the brain washes away toxins, when muscles begin their healing process, and the immune system receives a full, vital reboot. Yet for many older adults, that kind of sleep becomes more and more elusive. They wake every couple of hours. They lie in the dark, eyes fixed on the ceiling, mind circling. They toss and turn. They shift the blankets, adjust their pillows, sip a little water, and often, eventually, turn to medication. And while sleeping pills may offer temporary relief, they often come at a price. Most sedatives don't mimic the body's natural rhythms. They don't guide you through the natural cycles of sleep. They induce a kind of unconsciousness that lacks the biochemical depth and restorative rest. Over time, this creates more harm than help. It disrupts memory, reduces your ability to focus, weakens your immune system, and sadly, increases the risk of cognitive decline. Real sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about your brain traveling through carefully timed stages that reset, restore, and protect every system in your body. So, if you are still able to sleep 6 to 8 hours straight, without pills, without aids, without interruption, that's not just good enough. That's exceptional. It means your body still honors and recognizes its circadian rhythm, the ancient biological clock that tells your brain when it's time to wind down and when it's time to rise. It means your mind is still cycling through all the necessary phases: light sleep, deep sleep, REM, and then gently returning you to consciousness with clarity and energy. That kind of sleep is protective, not just soothing, but vital. It clears debris from the brain, particularly beta amyloid, the harmful compound linked to Alzheimer's disease. It balances cortisol, the stress hormone that, if left unchecked, can inflame the body and disrupt blood sugar levels. It releases growth hormone, which supports tissue healing, bone density, and a healthy immune response. But perhaps most importantly, sleep restores emotional regulation. That's why people who are well rested tend to be calmer, sharper, and more resilient. They bounce back faster from emotional setbacks, from loss, from unexpected changes. They meet physical challenges not with fear, but with quiet steadiness. And if you're wondering how to maintain or regain this rare gift of deep, unassisted sleep, know this: it doesn't begin at bedtime. It starts long before the sun goes down. It begins in the morning with light, especially natural sunlight. Expose your eyes and skin to daylight early in the day tells your internal clock it's time to be awake. That message echoes through your body, setting the rhythm for when to release melatonin later on. Movement is also essential. You don't need intense workouts. Even a gentle walk or light stretching during the day can help reduce cortisol and signal your body to prepare for restful sleep later. Nutrition plays a powerful role too, avoiding sugar and caffeine in the afternoon and evening, making sure you get enough magnesium, healthy fats, and hydration earlier in the day. These simple choices reinforce the signals your body needs to relax and recover. And all of this is held together by one key habit: consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, even on weekends, creates powerful circadian alignment. It trains your brain to anticipate sleep, and over time that consistency deepens your rest. But perhaps the most overlooked part of the puzzle is this: your relationship with stillness. Many seniors carry stress into bed, not without a way to process this lingering tension. It follows us into sleep like a shadow, stealing the depth and richness of rest. That's why, especially as we age, it becomes essential to build a signal to your body and mind to start simple, journal, breathe to turn a we are done. There is no it's safe. Because the truth is, you nigh. And when it finally comes, it originally, slowly, from the inside out. Every system in your body responds to deep rest. Every cell leans into that stillness. But if you've lost the ability to sleep well, don't panic. And don't ignore it either. It's not just a side effect of getting older. More often, it's a message, a sign that something's off. Whether it's blood sugar imbalance, hormonal shifts, emotional strain, or a nervous system that no longer feels settled. And all of those things can be improved. You don't have to accept exhaustion as your new normal. You don't have to grow used to foggy mornings and heavy limbs. There is always room to rebuild, slowly, gently, with patience. Start small. Remove alcohol from your evening routine. Add a dose of magnesium. Turn the lights down low. Make your bedroom cool, dark, and inviting. Create quiet, create stillness. And then, give your body the message it has been waiting for, perhaps for years. You are safe now. It's okay to rest. And if you're one of the lucky, or rather disciplined few who still sleep through the night, without anything in your system but breath and peace, protect that gift. Guard it. Cherish it. Because that sleep is not just rest, it's medicine. It's memory protection. It's mood regulation. It's the invisible line between surviving and thriving. Don't underestimate its value. Don't trade it for late-night scrolling, endless notifications, or extra cups of coffee that cost you tomorrow's clarity. Protect your sleep. Because if you sleep well at 70, you move better at 75. You think clearer at 80. You stand taller at 85. And at 90, still fully alive. And it all starts when the lights go out and your body gently says, I've got this. You can stand on one leg for 10 seconds. It sounds simple, but balance equals brain health. This quiet little test, done in silence, without fuss, can speak volumes about your nervous system. The longer you can stand without wobbling, the sharper your reflexes, the steadier your coordination, the more alive your neurological connections remain. And that balance matters more than most people know, because the ability to stay upright without support significantly reduces fall risk, which is one of the greatest dangers after age 70. Falls can change lives in seconds, so train your balance, practice every day, make it part of your routine, like brushing your teeth. Because balance is not just about the body, it's about the brain's quiet harmony with every limb. You can say no without guilt. That too is health. Emotional health is physical health. If you've reached the place in life where you can protect your boundaries, where you can say no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you, then you are aging with a kind of wisdom that cannot be bought. People who live long, rich lives aren't always those who avoided stress, but those who learned to stop inviting it. They rest when they need to. They speak when it matters. They've learned the art of preserving their peace. You can still learn something new. That may be the rarest ability of all. If your mind still stays curious, if you're exploring new skills, learning new technology, picking up new hobbies, or even a new language, then you are not just aging, you are evolving. Because neuroplasticity, the brain's power to adapt, doesn't end with time, it only ends when we stop feeding it. So if you're 70, 80, or beyond and still learning, your brain is still growing. And as always, where the mind leads, the body follows. If you found peace in these words, or if they reminded you that your journey is far from over, we invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to this channel for more gentle reflections on the strength still inside you, the wisdom you've earned, and the quiet beauty of aging with intention. Because sometimes just one calm voice, one honest truth, is all it takes to remind you you're still here, you're still strong, you're still becoming.